let's go ahead and introduce everybody here. And thank you very much for everyone joining us to our 2024 ARAG Annual Enrollment Information Session. I'm Carla Cook from Employee Benefits, as well as we have Ashley Wesley Lloyd from Benefits and also Kelly Faircloth. Joining us today from ARAG is Hannah Soma. So I'm going to go ahead and pass it on over to her.
Great, thanks, Carla. I'm excited to be here today to tell you more about your awesome legal insurance benefit that is available to you. Today, we'll talk about why legal insurance, how it can be beneficial to you, how it works, and of course, how to get in contact with us. So, if you're not currently enrolled in the legal insurance benefit or have never held a legal insurance benefit, you might be wondering how it could benefit you and your loved ones. As a reminder, there is a little bit of legal in everything that we do in life. What we really intend to do with the ARAG legal insurance product is to make sure that you're prepared for all of it, no matter what life throws your way. So we want to prepare you for good times like adding a newborn to your will, getting your parents' real estate advice, buying the house of your dreams, putting your hard-earned savings into a trust. And on the opposite end of the spectrum, we want to prepare you for the bad, sad, scary, unexpected times. For example, when a kid might make a mistake, your grandparent needs help finding assisted living, the cops catch you speeding, or true love doesn't work out and you need to seek separation. These are all just examples of ways that the plan can be used. These are certainly not all of the ways, but these are just to get your mind working about how you could potentially use the plan. Again, we really want to make sure that we prepare you for anything that life throws your way, help you navigate those legal issues, and of course, save money on attorney's fees. So again, legal matters don't discriminate. It's very likely that at some point in your life, you, your loved ones, your parents, your grandparents will need legal assistance at some point. This is just a legal life cycle roadmap to show some examples of ways that you could potentially use the plan. You'll see on the far left that you start with things like child identity theft, bullying, cyberbullying, traffic tickets, underage drinking. These are all ways that potentially, children could use the plan. As you get further into life, it can be things like disputes with landlords, getting married, starting a family, buying a home. And later in life, it could be things like debt issues, divorce, home renovations, caring for an aging parent or grandparent. And something that all of us can use the plan for proactively would be estate planning. So if you don't have a will or a trust in place, this would be a great way to utilize the plan, even if nothing else on this screen resonates with you at the moment. Now, we all know that navigating legal issues can be really costly. I think that is kind of the fear that we associate with legal matters, right? Is how are we going to afford to pay for an attorney if something does pop up in life where we need legal representation? Well, that's the beautiful thing about holding a legal insurance plan is that we fully cover the cost of network attorneys for a very wide range of legal matters. I'll show you that on a future slide. What we're looking at here is just the top 4 most highly utilized benefits in the plan. So wills, trust, consumer protection, property protection. You'll see in the middle column the average cost of attorney's fees without a legal plan, anywhere from $1,500 to above $2,000. I don't know about you, but for me, that's a lot of money, and I'd prefer to save it if I could. So with the ARAG legal plan, you would be paying $0 out of pocket to get a network attorney's help to fully resolve that legal matter. That's to cover advice, document prep and review, and even court representation. So this benefit is truly to completely resolve your legal matters, not just for consultation. We also have a lot of ways that you can work with our attorneys. So we have 15,000 plus network attorneys nationwide available to you. You can work with them in person or virtually, whatever works best for you. All of our attorneys do have physical locations. However, they're also able to work with you via teleconference, phone call, email as well, if that is what's easiest for you. Again, all of those attorneys are available to give you advice, do document prep and review, and even represent you in court if needed. And in addition to the 15,000 attorneys available for representation, we also have a network of phone attorneys. So the telephone network of attorneys, we have them in all 50 states. It's a really great service that's available to you through the plan if you just need a quick piece of advice. Let's say you're not sure what your legal matter is categorized as, or you're not sure if you should even go so as far as to hire an attorney to represent you. This can be a great starting point. It is a free and unlimited service. And the telephone network of attorneys are also available on a free and unlimited basis for your parents and grandparents through the plan as well, which means if your parent or grandparent ever needed phone advice from an attorney, they could use this benefit. Lastly, in addition to the in-person and telephone services, we've got online resources. We do have a learning center available on our website where you can find a variety of articles, guides, and videos on a lot of different legal topics. So if you're somebody that likes to do research on the front end yourself before starting work on something, this would be a great resource for you. Excuse me. We also have do-it-yourself documents available to our members through the member portal. The do-it-yourself documents are really neat. It's a state-specific document creation tool, which means that no matter what state you need a document to be relevant to, you can select that state and we'll make sure that it's meeting the criteria of that state to be a legally binding document. It's also intuitive in that however you answer one question, the next question might differ to best fit your needs. And at the end of completing the document, you will be told how to fully execute it. So that means if you need it to be notarized or a witness needs to be present for it to be legally binding, it would give you exact instructions on what needs to be done. Most of the do-it-yourself documents revolve around estate planning. So simple will, powers of attorney, HIPAA authorization, etc. Excuse me, I'm sorry. However, we do have some other documents living out on the website. There's one for bill of sale, one for tenancy. There's some other documents out there. There's about 9 in total. So just something to check out. I do want to remind you that we do fully cover for a network attorney to prepare your estate plan. So this is certainly not your only means to have an estate plan done. This is just an additional resource that you could utilize if you wanted to. We also have a website and a mobile app with the same exact capabilities. So if you wanted to start a case online or through the app, you could. You can also access all of your policies, certificates of insurance, member ID cards, the network of attorneys through the app or the website. So just something else to be aware of. This slide here is really text heavy. I know that this is a lot to take in, but what you're looking at here are all of the covered legal matters in your plan. So as you can see, it is very robust, super comprehensive. There should be very few legal matters that you encounter that would not fall into any of these categories. So that means way more often than not, you will be fully covered through the plan to take care of your legal situation. Now, there are a couple of benefits that have hourly limitations, but not very many. So I'm going to point those out. If there's not a set amount of hours next to the legal matter, that means that it would be what we call paid in full. And again, that means we cover all of the attorney's time spent with you, no matter how long that takes, and you are not coming out of pocket for any of their time spent. I'm so sorry, I'm battling a cold. You'll have to forgive me for the coughing. Okay, so the hourly benefits that you have available to you through the plan would be alimony, child custody, child support, child visitation, where we cover up to 8 hours per event. That means we fully cover a network attorney's time up to 8 hours per filing. After those hours have been exhausted, you would get a 25% discount off of the network attorney's normal rate. Another hourly benefit would be contested divorce, where we cover up to 30 hours per event. Again, you'll get the 25% discount off of a network attorney's time following that. And the only other hourly benefit would be estate administration, where we cover up to 9 hours per event. Again, that's followed by the 25% reduced fee benefit. Everything else that you see here, again, is what we call fully covered. And your plan actually has a really neat additional safety net built in called miscellaneous services. That means that if you do have a really unique legal matter that does not fall into any of these categories, meaning there's no paid in full or hourly benefit available, you would be able to put these 4 hours towards that event. And any additional help that you needed with that legal matter after the 4 hours had been exhausted, you would always have the 25% reduced fee benefit available to you following that. So you should always be covered in some way, whether it's paid in full, hourly, or at the reduced fee benefit. Your plan also has some really amazing additional services built into it. So one of those services is for taxes. With the tax service, you're able to get tips for state or federal filing of personal taxes, get explanation of tax law changes, have them research complex personal tax matters on your behalf, get advice regarding IRS audits and notification, have them review your previous year's personal tax return, and even get discounted personal tax return preparation. So that's all something that you can utilize through your plan. To get through to the tax service, you would just contact our customer care, who would transfer you over to talk to a tax specialist. You also have a financial counseling and education service built into your plan where you're able to talk to a financial counselor regarding any of these topics that you see here in the middle column. So that's a great service to utilize if you do want to have discussions regarding any of these topics that you see listed here. And I think the service that is of most interest to most employees is the services that we have built in for parents and grandparents. So I briefly started mentioning this earlier on a slide, but your parents and grandparents do have access to our telephone network of attorneys to get legal advice that is free and unlimited to them. Just be aware it is restricted to advice here. So that means that this would not be for representation, just advice over the phone, but that is something that they can utilize. We also include an annual legal checkup for them during the year. So that means that if they wanted to have a consultation with an attorney to kind of, review maybe their estate plan and see if they had everything that they needed in place, or discuss a legal matter that they're currently going through, they could use this free consultation to discuss that. We also include paid in full document preparation and document review for parents and grandparents, and they're able to get their will and powers of attorney done through a network attorney at no cost as well. So those are all things that your parent or grandparent can utilize through the plan. And for any other legal matter that they need representation for, we'll give them the 25% reduced fee benefit. So outside of all of this that we fully cover, if they have any other legal needs that they need help with, they can get 25% off of a network attorney's normal rate. This is the caregiving service is something that may be more beneficial to you as the named insured if you are acting as a caregiver for a parent or grandparent. But through the caregiving service, we are able to get you connected with a case manager who can help you put a care plan in place for an aging parent or grandparent who might be needing to be moved into assisted living. So they can help you research facilities that best fit your parents' care needs and your financial budget. So that's something that you could be connected to get more information on. If you are interested in utilizing that service, you would just call customer care to be connected to speak to a case manager to get that process going. And yeah, those are all available for your parents and grandparents. So something to really think about if you have a parent or grandparent in your life that needs an estate plan or has any other legal needs.
Okay, Hannah, we do have a question.
Okay.
Does this cover attorney fees only, or does it also cover all the extra fees they may charge, filing fees, notary, and more?
That's a great question. So we cover the attorney's fees, which is the bulk of the cost. So the attorney's time spent on this FAQ here, you'll actually see expenses and fees related to, we call it hard costs here in this slide, but I like to refer to it as non-attorney fees, such as filing fees, copying costs, postage, notarization, etc., would not be covered. So that's something that you would pay for out of pocket.
Okay. And how long do you have to be signed up for the legal insurance to be able to get any of these things done? Let's say 2024, you want to create a will, you get it all finished that year, and you no longer want the legal benefits for 2025.
So if you enroll for January 1st, 2024, you can start using your benefits immediately January 1st, 2024. There's no waiting period. If you wanted to opt out, then you could opt out during your open enrollment period. and you would remain in the plan through the end of that year, but you're not required to stay enrolled for the following policy year. All
All
right,
right.
perfect. All right, so just some quick frequently asked questions. Some of this we've touched on, but we'll just go through all of it again. It's good information. So what costs are covered? Again, for paid in full benefits, which is a majority of the benefits included in your plan, we cover 100% of the network attorney's fees. For hourly benefits, we cover 100% of the attorney's time for those allotted amount of hours. And after that, you would get the 25% discount off of the attorney's normal rate. And what happens if an issue is not covered in your plan? You have the 4 hours of miscellaneous time that you would use first. So that means if there's ever a really unique issue that doesn't fall into a paid in full or hourly benefit, you could put those 4 hours of coverage towards that. After those have been exhausted, you'll always have access to the 25% discount following that. How many network attorneys are available in the area? So we have more than 15,000 attorneys in the ARAG attorney network nationwide available to you, plus the telephone network of attorneys. So you should always have an attorney available to assist you with your legal matter, no matter where that's taking place. If you do ever have any trouble connecting with a local network attorney, definitely make sure to contact our customer care team. If you do have a benefit available to you, we do have a guarantee that we'll always have a network attorney to assist you. So just always make us aware of that if you do ever have a problem finding an attorney to work with. Can members use attorneys outside of the ARAG network? Yes, you can. If you have a benefit to use through the plan, then you would also have a non-network attorney benefit available to you. What we ask is that you do contact ARAG before you start working with that non-network attorney. That way we can make sure that we can verify you do have a benefit available. We can advise you exactly how much we're able to reimburse when working with a non-network attorney, and we can get you a claim form so that you can submit all the documentation needed to get that reimbursement. We don't see this benefit utilized a ton. Some examples might be is if you have a family friend that's an attorney that you really want to give your business to, but they're not a part of the network. If you really want to do that, you certainly could work with that attorney and submit for reimbursement through ARAG as long as the legal matter at hand is a covered legal matter. The other scenario might be is if something were to occur outside of the United States that required attorney representation. All of our network attorneys are located within the United States. So if you did need representation outside of the United States, your only option would be to use a non-network attorney and submit for reimbursement.
Okay, we have a couple more questions.
Okay.
My son is 20 years old. Is he covered? He lives in another state. Does it make a difference?
Yes, he would be covered. Eligible dependents, your children are covered through the end of the month that they reach the age of 26. So he would still be an eligible dependent, and the state that he lives in does not matter. We have network attorneys nationwide, so we could certainly still service him there.
Okay. I have a parent who will need help with the will and other papers to sign regarding probate stuff.
Mhm.
Where would I start? What is the number that I would call?
So I'll share the number at the end. It's 800-247-4184, but it'll be in a following slide. That's our customer care number. So that would be the best place to start so that they can set up a case, confirm your coverage, help you get in touch with some network attorneys and get the whole process started for that.
Do I have to contact ARAG if I already have identified an ARAG attorney on my own?
You'll still need to contact ARAG so that we can set up a case and send you your case assist confirmation. The case assist confirmation is what the network attorney will require from you so that they can see proof of your benefit, and they also use that to bill ARAG for their time. So it's totally fine that you've already identified the attorney you want to work with. Just make sure you get the case assist confirmation from us to provide to them.
If I am currently working with an attorney or interested in working with one, how do I find out if they are with ARAG?
So you can always call us and we can check for you. Otherwise, if you're an enrolled member, I believe on the website, we do have our entire directory of attorneys available, and I believe you can search by name. If not, then you would be able to call customer care and they can search by name and advise you if they are a part of our network or not. Otherwise, the attorney themselves would also know if they're a part of the network, and you could ask them. Is that all of them, Carla?
That's all I have so far.
Okay, perfect. All right. This is the last FAQ that I have. So, what are considered pre-existing conditions? This is an important one if you're not already enrolled in the plan. So, this is a precautionary one. If a member has a legal matter that occurs or is initiated prior to the plan's effective date, it will be considered pre-existing and there won't be in-office benefits to apply. So what that means is if a legal matter has started before your plan membership has started, then we would not be able to offer any paid in full or hourly benefits. However, for pre-existing conditions, we can still offer the 25% discounted rate. So you would have that available to you. You just wouldn't have a paid in full or hourly benefit available to you. And to give you an example of what might make a legal matter pre-existing, it would be what you see in the middle of the screen here. If a written notice of a legal dispute is sent, filed, or received by you prior to your effective date, if a ticket or citation is issued prior to your effective date, or if an attorney is hired prior to your effective date. So for anyone who is not a member yet or in looking to enroll for 2024, your effective date would be January 1st of 2024, which means if you are thinking of using the plan for a legal matter come January 1st or in the following year, and you have the capability to hold off on it, do so. And that way we can give you your fullest benefit available. Otherwise, if it's something that's out of your control, like a traffic ticket that's already occurred, that's just an example. But if that is the case, you would still get the 25% discount. We just can't give you a paid in full benefit. So just something to be aware of. All right, and getting started. So we do try and make it as easy as possible to use your benefits. There are several different ways that you can contact us to get started and request a case. You can call our customer care line, or you can log into the website to start a case, or you can download our mobile app to start a case. No matter what route you decide to take, the process is pretty much the same. You'll be taken through a series of questions which help us identify what your legal matter is and how it's covered based off of your plan benefits. We'll then send you what we call a case assist confirmation, which confirms that benefit. And you'll use this to provide to the network attorney of your choice so that they can see your benefit and bill ARAG directly for their time spent with you. So pretty simple to get going. It looks like there's a question in the Q&A.
There is. It says, can the ARAG insurance change contract conditions, coverage, or benefits to members during a non-enrollment time?
I don't know if I understand the question.
Yeah, I think they're asking if our contract that we have, can it change mid-year before annual enrollment would begin again?
We would never, no, I mean, we would never change benefits or the cost or anything. It should remain the same through that entire policy year.
Okay.
And if that's not the question, I'm happy to circle
Yeah,
back to it.
yeah, please message back if that's not what you were asking.
All right, and here is the last slide. So this is just all about how to get in contact with ARAG. So again, even if you're not enrolled yet and just thinking of enrolling, certainly feel free to use ARAG as a resource for any questions that you have about coverages and how the plan works. You can call us. Here's our number, 800-247-4184. We're open Monday through Friday, 7 to 7 Central Time. I'm in the blue box here right below that. You can also email us, service@araglegal.com. And then on the right-hand side of the screen, there's also a really great hyperlink, which links you to our website, araglegal.com/myinfo, where you'll enter this access code 18986PC. And this will show you a detailed list of all of the benefits that would be included in your plan, as well as descriptions of what those legal matters are and examples of how you might use those benefits. So it's a really great educational resource as you're making your benefit elections. The cost of the plan is $21.25 per member per month, and it does cover your spouse and domestic partner, and then children until the end of the month that they reach the age of 30. I think I misspoke earlier when I said 26. So,
Yeah, I was just getting ready to ask you that. We were looking that up at that time. So it's at the end of the month they reach 30.
yep, sorry about that, Carla.
All
But
right.
that's great for your employees though, because that means children can stay on it for even longer. So, yep, kids until they reach the age of 30, regardless of student or marital status. So, it's a really great plan, super comprehensive for you and your loved ones. And that is all that I have for you. So if there are additional questions, I'm happy to answer those at this time.
We do have a question. Is there a way to see if a specific attorney is a network attorney prior to enrolling?
You could call customer care and they could check on that for you, but there won't be a self-serve way to check on that prior to enrollment.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Hannah. We'll hang out for a few more minutes and just in case there's more questions. And another question we did have is how is a domestic partner defined?
So that would be at the discretion of Pinellas County. We go off your eligibility guidelines. So I'll
Okay.
let you guys take that one.
Yes, if you're currently have a domestic partner enrolled in on your plan, you can enroll them on the ARAG plan as well. And the adult children who would still be covered even if we aren't carrying them on our insurance. So if they're, yes, if they're, that would be if they have children, but they're not on their insurances, they would still be covered. Is that correct, Hannah?
Yes, correct.
Yeah,
Yeah, the voluntary benefits, none of them are connected to
to
our
the health plan.
medical and dental and so on and so forth. They're completely independent.
Okay. We'll hang on just a few more minutes for any other questions that you may have.
Perfect. And once we wrap up, if there are questions from anyone that's in attendance, certainly feel free to direct those to our customer care team via phone call or email, like I mentioned. We're happy to be a resource for you as you make your enrollment election. So just don't hesitate to reach out to us if needed.